Welcome, welcome, welcome to the second episode of the More Than Enough podcast. I am Nicole Wright, founder of the More Than Enough movement, author of the book You Are More Than Enough. I'm also a learning and development professional, mainly really focusing now on leadership workshops. I'm also a personal development coach. And so I created this space for the woman who is desiring to walk out on her fears, step into her dream, and own her power by shifting her mindset from feeling not enough to becoming more than enough. And in doing that, having the ability to create a purposeful and fabulous life while, of course, settling for more while she does this. So if that is you, then welcome. We're going to be having an amazing time today. And I just wanted to share with you how my week went and some things that really, really stood out for me. And of course, some lessons that I learned. So my week was going great. Monday was good. I did some training on Tuesday. I facilitated a virtual session on coaching for success, and that went well. Wednesday was fine, and Thursday was okay. Only because on Thursday I started to feel a little bit down and I started to think about my business and how I really wanted to show up in the world and how I wanted to serve. I thought about things that I did in the past that really didn't work, and then it gave me a little bit of anxiety because I started to wonder what if those things are duplicated in the future. And I had to stop myself and I had to realize that in doing all this, I was really causing myself a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and I was not living in the present moment. I was not living in the now. And the truth is that everything happens in the now. And living in the now, I mean, you've probably heard this a thousand times. You've probably read about it for years. Almost everyone has been exposed to the concept of living only in the present without giving thought to what has happened in the past or living in the past or being so concerned about what may happen in the future that they suffer from anxiety. And as good as this advice is, and as humans, we sometimes find it really difficult to implement this ever so simplistic concept into our everyday life. It's simple, yes, but is it easy to do? Absolutely not. Life really unfolds in the present, but ever so often we let the present slip away, allowing time to rush past unobserved, unseized. We spend so much precious time thinking about things that have happened or things that hasn't happened, and we squander precious seconds of our lives really worrying about the future and ruminating about what has happened or what happened in the past. We're really living in a world that really contributes to, in a major way, to mental fragmentation, disintegration, distraction, and allows us to not really be present. We're always doing something. We allow little time to practice stillness and being present. When we're at work, we're thinking about the weekend, we're thinking about what's for dinner. We're really fantasizing sometimes about being on vacation. And when we're on vacation, we're thinking about the work that we may have to do, what's probably piling up at our desk, the emails that may be coming in. We dwell on intrusive memories of the past, or we worry about what may or may not happen in the future. When we do this, we're not allowing or appreciating the present moment, or we're not living in the present moment because our mind is like swinging. The thoughts are, swinging. Our minds are swinging from thoughts to thoughts. We're never ever present, or we're not taking the time to really sit with a particular thought for a moment. The truth is that if we really want to live the life that we're desiring, then we really need to be living in the moment. And so you've probably heard the term mindfulness. And mindfulness is a state of active, open, intentional attention to the present. When we become mindful, we realize that we're not our thoughts. We actually become an observer of our thoughts from moment to moment, and this happens seamlessly without judging them. Mindfulness actually involves being with your thoughts as they are. So you're neither grasping at them, neither are you pushing them away. Instead, you're really letting your life go by, right, without living in the past or in the future. You're really awakened to the experiences that you're having at any given time. And so, what happens is cultivating a non judgmental awareness of the present really has a host of benefits. So, mindfulness studies have shown mindfulness it has actually reduced stress. It boosts immune functioning. It reduces chronic pain. It lowers blood pressure. It really helps people who are going through illnesses such as cancer to cope because it alleviates the stress, and all you have to do is spend a few minutes a day actively focus on living in the moment to reduce your anxiety level, to reduce your stress, and to be able to really appreciate what is happening right in this moment. So let us just be honest with ourselves for a moment and let us just be practical. The only thing that really exists is what's happening right in this moment. The past is no longer here, so it doesn't exist for us anymore. And it's over and should be nothing but a fading memory. The future does not exist because guess what? It hasn't happened yet. So both the past and the future are mere concepts which consist of thoughts and memories. The only thing that really exists is right now, is this very present moment, the moment that you're living in. And from this moment, you can actually draw tremendous power, the kind of power that you need to be able to use to tap into your greatness and to change your life, achieving the things that you desire or achieving your goals. So you may say that, you know what, I'm not liking what's happening right now. I'm not liking the present moment. And that is because you are attaching a label to what you think the present should be based on maybe what has happened in the past. So you may have memories and you may be feeling or thinking about the past, causing you a level of anxiety, causing you not to be appreciative of what's happening right now. And this sometimes causes you to worry about the future. But the past no longer exists. The future is not here. And you can't step back in time or you can't go into the past. Well, if you're a Star Trek fan, you may disagree. But as far as we know, there's absolutely no way of going back into past time or reliving or altering past experiences. And just sit with that for a moment. You can't go back and change it. The past is done with, right? Similarly, you're not able to step into the future and see what it could feel like, look like, be like, or see what is happening. And despite what psychics are saying, despite what people who, are studying astrology saying, there's no way of seeing the future or living in the future only because it hasn't happened. One day, sadly, the future will arrive. And if you're not paying attention because you're too focused on the past or you're still worrying about the future and that which is to come, that you're missing the moment completely. So, the only thing that is taking place right now in this present moment, as you're listening to this podcast, that's all you're doing. That's all that's happening. When you're done, The moment that you are currently experiencing, which is right now, will never happen again. The now will never happen again. Your present moment will never happen again. And so, even when you think about the past, you do so right now in the present moment, funny enough. You don't go back in time and relive the past, you do so in that moment. When you think about the future, you're doing so in this moment. You're not in the future, you're in the now. So, when you think about the past, and you're projecting into the future, you're actually wasting valuable time and the power that you have in this moment. The only reason that a lot of people are suffering, and I say suffering from unhappiness or depression or anxiety, is because they're failing to live in this moment. They fail to embrace the now. So instead, they often think about what the past moments could have been or should have been, right? And you're allowing those thoughts to dominate you. You're thinking about what the future might be, thus creating a space of unhappiness. So it is impossible to have a problem and live in the present moment at the same time because nothing is happening right now. So when you're living in the moment, if you think about it, your attention should be completely focused on what is happening in this very moment, right? There should be no projecting into the future or trying to live into the future only because it is not there, right? So if you're at work, focus on work. If you're at home, focus on what's happening at home in that moment. If you're with your friends, for heaven's sake, focus on your friends, right? Because what you're trying to do is to retrain your mind and to retrain your subconscious mind. So when you start being present in the moment, what's happening is that your mind is being trained and you're saying you're ready, you're present, um you're embracing that, you're tapping into the power to be able to create the life that you desire. So many of us are seeking answers. We're trying to make the right decision or just hoping to discover a passion that you can follow. These answers are going to come when you live in the now. When you're focused on the present moment, you will receive your answer because you can't go back in the past or step into the future to receive the answers. You can only receive the answer when you have consciously and deliberately become present in the moment. Because if you're focused on the past or consuming the future, the answer, when it comes, you'll miss it because you're not present, right? So, this is where you go to dominate your present moment. If you're not dominating your present moment, you're focusing on mistakes of the past, or you're so consumed with the future that you're forgetting to live in the moment. And some of you may say, Nicole, you know what, right now, I don't like what's happening in the present moment. I don't have a job. My house is about to go into foreclosure. My wife, my husband, my partner just left me. I'm stuck with my three kids. My present is not exactly pleasant. And I get that. But if your present or current situation is not pleasant, then ask yourself if you're comparing it to something else. So you're probably thinking about what the now should be instead of really focusing on what's happening. So, in the cases that I just spoke about, or the situation scenarios that I just spoke about, if you don't have the job, then it is time to use your moments to start updating that resume or sending out applications. But how are you using your now? So, you will know that you're probably not focused on the now if you're not planning. So, planning is essential, and you use your now to plan, right? So what you should be doing is focusing on what's happening right now, what tools do I have right now, What steps can I take right now to start creating the life that I truly desire? Right? So if you need to go out and look for a job, then do it now. Right? Don't plan about what could potentially happen because it hasn't happened. Do not compare your present situation to anything. Accept it for what it is. Make the most of it with the intention of making the present better with each step that you take. So don't get me wrong, right? I'm not saying that you're to ignore or not accept your present situation and do nothing about it. What I am saying is deal with your present situation, do everything you can in the now to improve your life. So once you begin working on the present moment with the intent of improving your life, you really begin to utilize the power of now. You leave the past in the past and you're not projecting into the future. Instead, you're focusing on what you have now and how can you use what you have right now to get the things that you truly desire and the things that you deserve. So I know this concept is easy to understand, and I know your challenge may be in applying it. So while a lot of us are able to grasp the concept and understand the concept of living in the now and working with the power of the present moment, practicing it is quite another thing, and we have to be deliberate. So the first thing that you should be doing is start working on the process that involves getting your mind to work differently, right? So something it is something that we're not used to, and it is a process that you have to really be intentional about. So you begin to live in the now while moving forward and improving your life by working on your mindset, by understanding that each day is significant, each day is valuable, and each day is filled with power. It is only in the present that you can receive the answers that you need. So, if you want to start shifting your mindset and if you want to stop living in the past and start living in the now, then you need to take control of your mind and how your thoughts are dominating or the thoughts that you're allowing to dominate you. And the reason that we experience the struggle or the challenge in living in the now is because our mind is simply not used to doing this, right? Our mind is used to remembering the past or worrying about the future, and it can't live in the present because it doesn't know how to. So you are responsible for training your mind, right? So, first, look at your current situation and ask yourself what's wrong with the very moment that you're in. So, don't think about what happened yesterday or going into the future. I want you to start thinking about what is happening in this moment. So, don't focus on what might happen tomorrow. Look at the moment that you're in, not the moment that you will be in 5 minutes from now, right? If there's anything wrong with this moment, right, you'll realize that nothing is happening. Nothing is happening right now. Absolutely nothing. I want you to focus your mind on what's happening in this moment. So, my point is that if you find nothing wrong with the present moment, it is what it is. And once you accept that, you begin to live the life that is peaceful. You can't turn your mind off, right? But you can get your mind to work differently. And that is what we're aiming to do. We're aiming to retrain our minds to embrace and accept the power of now. So ask yourself these questions. Grab your pen, grab your paper. Do you find that you're waiting for something to happen at all times? So you're constantly wondering what's going to happen. Are you waiting to get more time? Right? So there's a dream or there's something that you want to achieve, but you're waiting to get more time or waiting to make more money, right? or you're waiting to for the right time or the right opportunity. So waiting is another game that the mind plays because it doesn't know how to live in the present moment. So if you answered yes to any of these questions, it means that you're not living in the present. It means that you're focusing on everything else except right now. Now, I know it's difficult to be present 24 hours a day, but I want you to start by taking a few minutes a day, then continuing to expand daily. Track your progress and see how you're feeling. So, here's a suggestion for you. The next time you're driving or walking, pay attention to what's happening around you. Listen to the sounds, observe the people. Don't think about what you have to do or what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow or what's going to be happening in 5 minutes. Focus your attention only on what's happening right then and there, right now. And in practicing this, your mind will start living in the present moment and you will start to really be tapping into your power and utilizing the power of now. Remember, if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. And if you're at peace, then you are living in the present. So, as for me, when I think about my journey so far, my journey has been filled with highs and lows. I've had mountaintop experiences. I've had valley experiences. I've learned many great lessons. I've shifted so many gears. I've changed so many lanes. I've shed a bunch of tears. I've lost a few friends. I've faced a few fears, and I actually did a lot of happy dances, to be honest with you. But one thing that stood out is the lesson of now. I realized that try as hard as I may, that I will never, ever, ever be able to be in control. And as human beings, think about it. Try as hard as we may, we will never be in full control. We will only have now. And so it makes no sense projecting into the future or lamenting over the past because it became clear to me how powerful this moment is. And I hope it's going to become clear for you how powerful the present moment is. Because at any given time, it's all that we have and all that we can truly own. And as humans, we often forget this and we fail to create or to even live the life that we desire because we are sitting around waiting on the right time. And which, in my opinion, the right time will never come. There is no right time, there is just now. So until we accept and surrender to the power of now, we're really not able to move forward. Until we master the art of beginning where we are, using what we have, knowing and believing that we always have what we need at any given moment, right? And that our source is flowing abundantly and the source can never be depleted, which makes us enough, then we'll forever be waiting in vain. So we often allow fear of the unknown and remnants of the past to control us, and this prevents us from tapping into our moments and using what we already have to start creating the things that we desire to attain. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a coach and I'm a firm believer in long term visions and goal. But if you can't begin right now to use what you have, then what is the point of even creating a 30, a 60, or a 90-day plan? So I wanted you to ask yourself, what are you willing to do right now to get you closer to your dreams? Realize that you're not in control, but you're just a mere participant with the ability to play a lead role in your life. There is a force and there is a power which governs and guards your life, and that great controller is God. So it's a great feeling when you decide to let go and trust. And I've come to accept that I'm a spiritual being having an earthly experience, which makes me bold. I now understand that failure is never an option, that I will never fail. I can only live or learn. I fail when I've not learned, I've not identified why I had the experience. So for me, I'm always looking at why am I having this experience? My hope for you, my prayer for you is that you connect the dots and you use your nows wisely, because now is all you will have at any moment in time. I want you to know and believe that you already have all that you need because you truly are more than enough. And when I hit my lows, when I hit my moments of feeling anxious or feeling depressed, so I'm thinking about the past or projecting into the future, I remind myself that I have greatness within me. I remind myself that I have my now and I can use my now wisely. I remind myself that there is power in now. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure, and I do look forward to speaking with you. Don't forget that you don't need permission, you don't need validation, you don't need confirmation, because right now, in this moment, where you are, just as you are more than enough. I'll talk to you soon.